Hi, my name is Terasa Younker, and I would like to share my experience working in the travel agent industry and in the behavioral sciences. So, my first job out of college, my first real job, was working for a big Japanese company called Rakuten in Tokyo. So, I applied from the US. I'd spent 3 years studying in the United States and then 2 years abroad. And I worked for the travel division in sales in Tokyo. So my job was to visit hotels or manage a portfolio of hotels where I would help them maximize their inventory through Rakuten, through their site, and also sell ads. And then my job now is I am a researcher in the behavioral sciences, specifically for interventions for rural populations in mental health. So as far as how Japanese language made my work possible, I would not have had my first job had I not spoken Japanese. It was because I spoke Japanese that I had that job. And for this current job, I've really been able to distinguish myself from other researchers because I know Japanese and I can access this wealth of material in the Japanese language about mental health in rural areas and behavioral interventions that otherwise would just go unknown in the English-speaking world. I loved working in the travel industry. I really liked my first job. I'm a very social person, and I really enjoyed getting to know all of the clients that I worked with. So these were hotel executives and little 90-year-old okami-san. These are the managers of ryokan, and I am still in touch with those people. It was also really fun to learn about a neighborhood in Tokyo, an area, and what's going on there, the history, the kind of future trends, and predict those. My current job, I like that I'm able to actually help people's lives, actually build interventions, and help people feel better about themselves, and even helps them avoid suicide. As far as how I became aware that my field job was a possibility, I actually didn't intentionally land either of these jobs. I suppose I'd applied to Rakuten, and many of you know this probably, but maybe some of you not. When you apply to a Japanese company, you're actually not applying for a job. You're applying for the company. So you don't apply for the position. You don't say, I want to be an accountant. You go to the company and then they decide what they want you to do. And because I spoke Japanese, I was very lucky to be placed in the sales portion of travel, and I also like to travel. So that was very, very fortunate. And my second job, I just happened to meet a psychologist down here in Florida when we moved down I moved down with my husband. He's a Japanese literature professor. And she liked me, and I had research skills from my time in graduate school, so she hired me, and it's been a really good fit. My favorite way of using Japanese in my first job was being able to connect on a human level with my clients. To me, that's really the ultimate goal of language study, and I'm really proud and grateful that I was able to do that. And now I love that I can actually make a difference. I can use this knowledge that others can't access, and I can put it to work in helping people's lives. As far as how is Japanese made, given me any advantages outside of work, I'm so grateful for my Japanese ability. It has really enriched my life. I still watch Japanese variety and I read novels, and I'm in touch with my friends back in Japan. It allows me to connect to a totally different world of ideas. I think about things differently. I can see different perspectives. I'm more open to things. It's, I think, made me a much deeper, more grateful, more thoughtful person. It really changed my life. I spent 6 years living there. Did not think that would happen when I first started studying Japanese, but I'm really glad it did. And even if I hadn't gone to Japan, I still would have been happy because it really opened my mind and made me into a better person. So my advice to all of you, probably my biggest one is to choose a study abroad program that has a host family option. Living with a Japanese family was the biggest growth experience, and it will change your life. It will not only make you a better speaker, which it certainly will do, but also a deeper, more thoughtful and compassionate person. So best of luck.